I was getting kicked to the curb on a daily basis. So YouTube does not like infringement rights and all that fun stuff. Kobe's trying to sing songs and cut records, and I get busted every time.
True story.
Dang it.
So, God darn
Next
it,
time.
man. Yeah. So, hey, everybody, welcome to MLO Live Show. Super excited to be here as always. Man, we just like to come on here, have fun, bring value, bring excitement, bring inspiration. And today, I don't know how much more inspiration we can bring than what Laura Witte is going to bring to the table.
Oh, no pressure there.
No pressure. No pressure. Laura, I got a big question for you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Did you just take a nice trip? Did you take a little trip somewhere?
I did.
Where'd you go?
Where did I go? I went to Boston to visit my daughter for the weekend, and then I went to New York to just walk
Nice.
and eat Chinese food.
Walk and eat Chinese food. Okay. All right. There you go. Hey.
Self-care.
Self-care. That is good. I like self-care. I see some new faces maybe. So Jennifer Q. Carita. Is that right? Did I say that right? Jennifer Carita?
I don't know where the Q came from, but it's just Jennifer.
Oh, it's just in your name. So I apologize. I was just Jennifer. I thought maybe
no,
your mom.
I saw that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
I thought maybe
Jennifer
your mom just said, "Man, I'm gonna mess you up for the rest of your life." Jennifer Q. Yeah. All right, welcome. So hey, Jennifer, did you hit the 100 mil? I mean, Laura, I'm sorry. Laura, did you hit the 100 mil?
Oh.
It's like I'm confused, guys.
So tomorrow, 2 loans will fund. I'm at like 99,923 something.
99,923. So we gotta have you back tomorrow then. Tomorrow
I know,
afternoon. We gotta do it.
Tell you.
Yeah.
I thought they would fund today.
Right.
But Mark's got his, they closed. They just don't fund until tomorrow. I know. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. All right. This call is now on hold due to
I think we just got to end the call.
due to a weather. I gotta end the call. This is ridiculous.
We're done.
So Laura, man, I'd love to get serious and talk about what it takes, the mindset that it takes to get to where you're at, knowing what you know now, type of thing. I know we've had you on before, and you're the one that's been on the most on the show. So thank you for continuing to come back. And she's like last week, she's like, give me one more week. I don't think I'm going to hit 100. So, and I know your goal is 200 for 2026. How are you?
We shall see.
Yeah. How are you doing this, Laura?
I think we all have to be a little crazy to be a loan officer. No, in all seriousness, I think, it's all about how to prioritize, organize. The most important thing I think with this is to have the right team to do this. I have 2 amazing coordinators that help me so I can just sell. And then a couple months ago, we found our first loan partner who's helps me with sales. So my loan coordinators will help with all the documents, obviously coordinating stuff to get it to processing. So pre-processing, pre-underwriting. They've been with me 10, 15 years. And we just found our missing piece. I feel like Mark and I just hired somebody that really can help on the sales side. So, it's great to do a lot of business. It's wonderful, especially in this crazy time and market, but also to be able to see your kids exercise, eat, shower, stuff like that, especially being a mom of children. I have 2 special needs kids too, to be able to spend time and do some self-care is important. But to be able to close this month, this much, it takes, I think, a team. My husband works with me and does our marketing and events. I used to be a lone ranger, and I was like, I can do it all. And I had just a processor. You'll go crazy. You have to have some kind of support of whatever you think will work for you and your company.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I think that's important. You got to have people to rely on. we just have some of the best minds in mortgages too. Like if I have an underwriting question, I have people to go to. Basically, when they say hire people that are smarter than you, that's what I did. I hired people that were smarter than me.
Was it right off the bat? Like they said you've been with they've been with you 15 years. Was it right off the bat? Because the reason I'm asking this question is a lot of people try one. I've heard this so many times. I tried to hire one, wrong person. I'm just gonna do it.
Oh yeah, no, I've hired a lot of wrong people
Okay.
along the way, and these people stuck. And you know, it didn't start out like that. You know,
Yeah.
if you're, for those who are just starting out, going back to what did I do to build this? It doesn't, you know, it doesn't just happen.
Mhm.
It's something that you progressively raise your goals to get to this point. If this is where you want to be, you have to have, you know, in my opinion, you have to have a clear goal in mind of what you want to do and what you're going to do to support that goal, all the beliefs, all the mindset stuff, and the behaviors to achieve that, to get there. So it's not just, oh, I want to close, you know, first it was like, I want to close 3 million a month. How do I get there? What do I do to be able to get there? What do I do daily, hourly, daily, weekly? You know, you have to plan and write these things down. Plan for success. You're going to have failure. That's just life. You know, that's the way it is. You're going to fail, but well, you've got to learn from that and keep moving. Failure fuels me.
Interesting. Tell me more about that. Like what?
I've had a lot of experience with this.
What do you like when you say that? What does that mean to you? Because I think that means different things to different people. What does that mean to you?
I think I watched we've talked about this before. I watched way too many Rocky movies. I have a Rocky poster I'm looking at right now with him on the stairs like this. And I have gone on those stairs and taken my kids and, you know, like that. I think that is a great metaphor for not staying down and getting back up, even when it's just like the worst of worst days, you know, and the market's terrible and people are like, I'm going to go to I'm going to use my brother's father's uncle for my loan. And you know they're coming back to you like 2 days before closing. I mean, I think that, oh, that's funny. I think that having that mentality, you know, growing up where if you're down, you get back up.
Gotcha.
And you take a moment of silence to learn from what you did, whatever way you did it, whether you failed or the world or the universe, whatever it was, and you just keep going and you keep trying. I have a writing company that I do a little writing on the side called Square Pegs. You know, I don't know if you guys remember that movie, that show from the 80s.
No. Square Pegs. So you write for them?
I do some writing. Yeah, I'm working on a book.
Okay.
And you know, I was telling my son this. I think parenting is a lot like sales. There's only so much you can do with a round, a square peg in a round hole. At some point, it's not going to fit, and you got to learn that, and you got to keep moving and find where you fit. You got to find your people when you're younger, and you know, and the whole thing where you tell your kids you got to find your people. And well, as salespeople, you got to find your people too. You know, what you do needs to be authentic to you and how you want to grow your business, so you have longevity, so you build relationships.
Gotcha. One of the things that I wrote down a couple things here, but as you're growing, and a lot of people have the biggest challenge is, one is letting go, two is spending the money to let go, to maybe go backwards to go forwards.
Yes. 2 steps back. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So spending the money and relying on someone to do this task so that you can stay on the sales floor. How do you overcome that? Because there's no way to get to 100 if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You have to change your habits, have to change your demeanor, have to change your mindset. How do you let go, and how did that work out?
Yeah, and I know you had asked, I don't know if you want to go more into like how failure fuels.
Oh, yeah. No, I would like to do the failure. Do the failure. Because I think we all fail on a daily basis. So like,
I fail magnificently. It's the same thing. Again, parenting, sales. I tell my kids, you're going to fail. Enjoy every second of it, because every time you fail, you're closer to your goal. You have learned what not to do. It is a stepping stone to success. All the failures are stepping stones across the river to whatever it is that you want to do with your life and success. So I think that, and the mindset of, you know, keep going, again, watching all those movies where you just don't give up on yourself. Tomorrow can always be better. I think that's kind of the message. And then, yeah.
So tapping into the failure piece, is it a scarcity mindset that I'm going to fail, or is it a scarcity mindset that I'm going to let someone down if I fail? Or is it a little bit of both? Because I think a lot of us don't want to let people, like, you know, hey, I'm going in the mortgage business. I'm going in the real estate business. I'm going to sell real estate. And, but I don't want to tell anybody, and I don't want to do, like, if I fail, now I got to go back and go, man, I didn't make it. So is it part of that? Or is it just, you know, I call it failing forward, because they say you don't learn until you fail, but is it a little bit of not letting someone down, or is it just, man, I'm going to shoot. My mythology is shoot, fire, aim. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah. When I first started, it was, you know, the whole fake it till you make it. Because, you know, I've shared, I have no formal education. I sort of, you know, just self-educated, barely finished high school. So I had the whole, like, I'm going to fake it type thing. I've had the whole identity crisis for years. And I just finally realized, you know, excuse me, but fuck it. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do and prove to myself. I mean, I've always been my biggest competitor. I think that, you know, like you said,
it's a tough one, right? I kind of hit it.
Did I hit a chord there?
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on the day and what it is, but if you want something, you haven't really truly failed until you stop trying. You know, if you stop trying is when you really fail. Little failures are just corrections in the road. You know, you're driving down the road and the line goes that way. You're going to go that way? No, you're going to follow the line. So did you make a mistake? No, you just adjusted. So I feel like failure is just, you know, it's a point of view. I mean, you truly fail if you just stop trying. I think that's where the failure is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I always
say. And as far as
go ahead.
I was saying, as far as, like, you know, trusting and spending the money and the time to have, you know, education like you offer, or have, like, you know, coaches, education assistants, all those things, they take a leap of faith. Sometimes maybe you don't have the money totally, like, you know, don't put yourself in a bad situation. But if you're pushing yourself a little outside your comfort zone and, you know, you can afford to do this. I mean, that's where I was at. I was, you know, doing 20 million, 30 million, 40 million at every different level. I hired different people. And then by the time I got to 60 million, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have my sanity, see my kids. I need to hire somebody. And so that sort of started building the team. But you got to have trust, and you got to let go of control and ego.
I mean, that's another fear. That's another fear, letting go, because you've like, once you get to 60 million, like, all right, to go to the next level, I got to trust people. So that's a fear, like, oh God, this is scary.
It is. But, you know, it's also leveling up, you know, for those who like video games. I'm such a nerd. I'm like a gamer from the 80s, you know, it's like playing Tetris. You get to the first level you're like, shit, this is fast. Second level, third level. By the time you get to the fifth level, you're like, okay, I got this. It's fine. Things slow down. It's the same thing with business and sales. It's the same kind of idea where you're doing more. You've adjusted. You set your goals higher. The next level comes. You figure it out. You make adjustments. It's just all about, you know, keeping the faith and and making adjustments.
Love it. As you grow, I think a lot of people like the letting go part we talked about, but as far as sanity, because like I've met people that close 5 loans a month and they literally are pulling their hair out and like, oh my God, I'm like this, I can't handle it. What would you tell that person? Like what could help somebody close in 5? Because you got to have sanity and freedom, or otherwise you just drive yourself into a hole and like, okay, this is stupid.
And that was part of the reason why I changed my flight from Boston to New York, because I needed a day, and I recognized I was burning out for like, you know, a minute. It was a crazy month. Taking my daughter to college was emotional. You got to recognize where you're at, and you got to respect it. And if you don't listen, your body will make you listen. I have learned that, unfortunately, working on health stuff, but like mental health is important. It affects everything. So you got to listen and take time. But I think, sorry, go back to the question. There was something.
It was just it was the letting go part, but
sanity.
then the keep your sanity part, like the burnout. Like, what does burnout mean to you? Because
Yeah.
one of the number one responses I said on email, I said, hey, what's keeping you from going, like, closing 2-3 more deals a month, right? And one of the things was burnout.
Yes, burnout is real. It can be real.
Is that something you deal with, or is that you got enough people in place to push stuff off to where I can actually enjoy my evenings with my family? I'm not tied to my phone answering calls 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's both. I think in this business, we're constantly, we can be constantly on. We have to have boundaries, which I'm not always perfect with either. But I think the important thing is to prioritize and organize. I said that when I came on. So you have to look at, I don't know, this is the term. Somebody said this to me the other day, the low hanging fruit. What can you get to? What can you do now? What could you do later? And what could you put off till tomorrow, kind of thing. You have to be organized and look at these things. I'm looking at my desk telling you this, and it's not organized, but the inside of my computer is. There's things that you can do. I set reminders. I constantly set reminders. Like I'm organized with my notes, take good notes. Again, have the team. If you don't have a team, you have a lot of technology I didn't have, early on. AI, you have an AI assistant. There's things that you can do. But importantly, more importantly, is you got to recognize when you're at that point and just take a moment and just breathe.
Yeah.
And just, like I have this saying in my head mantra when I'm kind of spiraling is be where my feet are. Because when you're here now, when you're present, you're not anxious because you're not thinking about tomorrow or yesterday. You're just present in the now. And that helps me to like be calm and not have the burnout, I think is important. And having good people to support me.
To support you, yeah.
But if you don't have that yet, you can build that. It's okay.
Yeah.
You gotta be kind to yourself in this business.
Tell me about a little bit about the org chart. How does that? Because I think Kobe said, "Man, I can't wait to hear about the LOA." So tell me a little bit about how this process works for you. Do you talk to every single client? Do you like first, second, third? Like how does that?
I talk to every single client.
Okay.
And I met with somebody yesterday who was really smart, and she said, moving forward, you might have to have people talk to like another person on your team. Like, I don't know the answer is it's scalable to 200 million or 180 something million, kind of thing. But right now I talk to every client because like I do this because I love what I do and I love connecting with people. Yesterday I talked to a client, just kind of going off the question here, that I did a loan for her 11 years ago. She was hiding out from her abuser, sleeping on a couch. Just graduated medical school, pregnant, amazing woman. And yesterday I spoke to her. She has her own home. She's still in the home we helped her get in. Abuser's way gone. The kid is 11. She's making several $100,000 now, about to buy a bigger home in a different area. And just like
great story. Yeah.
Right. That's why I do what I do. I want to hear the stories. I want to connect with the people. Otherwise, it's just money, which is like lifeless and boring, right? We have to have a meaning behind what we do and what drives us to do that and the passion that we have to do that.
That's awesome, my friend. Yeah.
So the LOA.
Yeah. Where does Kobe, this is a good question. Where does the loan partner fill the gaps?
Yeah. So let me tell you the structure. I know all this stuff we're talking about, feelings and emotions.
No, it's
let me tell you the
huge.
structure.
Yeah.
So, which is important. But the LOA, so I don't really look, you have to have the trust in somebody that knows what they're doing, and these women do. So I don't really look at documents. I'll be honest with you. I really don't. I barely look at a pay stub now. And that took time and trust. It wasn't just like, like that. But documents come in, and my LOAs, they split up files because there's a lot of files, and they look at stuff, they verify stuff. I really just look at, like, when everything's packaged, the structure of it. It's sort of like I worked with a coach, and they said, you're the doctor, you need someone to triage, right? So I have someone that triages, and they take the pulse of the client, they look at the income, they look at everything. They say, oh, this person had a bonus, but it was only for 18 months and not 2 years, so we can't use it, but that's okay. The DTI is, XXX. And then I look at it, and, if it's a vanilla file, that's easy enough. Okay, we pre-approve. I always will triple check. I mean, we have each other's backs on our team, so nobody thinks anybody's smarter than the other. So we always double or triple check each other. And then we get the pre-approval out. If it's a more complicated file, I'm in it. I love those files. That's my, I love puzzles. So I'm working on it. I'm moving things to try to figure it out. But they're verifying everything. They're doing verifications of employment, assets, all of that. Where the piece that was missing that came in, and then Mark, my husband Mark, does events, business development. He'll bring on builders, like stuff that I, working, stuff like that. I'll do as well, but he does way better. And he'll, he does creates these campaigns that are brilliant, that help drive business to us as well. And then where the loan partner came in was really the missing piece. Her name is Anna. She is amazing, and she will do estimates for me, and price loans, lookup guidelines. So I feel like I'm just going in there and I'm connecting with people and I'm selling, which is what I love to do. That's what I love, is selling, connecting, providing the service.
Love it. That's amazing. So Mark, man, we need to get Mark on here.
You really do need to
Let's
get Mark
go,
on
Mark.
here.
What the
He was
heck,
on here
man?
earlier.
No, I know, man. He's hiding on us. He's hiding behind
There you go.
behind closed
I got
doors.
a question for you,
I'm still
Laura.
here.
We're just
I
If
just
you
got
want
deadhead.
to
I'm not getting
talk
on
about
camera.
marketing, Mark
no, we'll
is
get
driven-
Mark on here. I would love to have Mark on here because
Yeah,
I think
there you go.
events and
Mark has
campaigns and
driven a
stuff.
lot
Yeah.
of marketing. His marketing ideas have driven a lot of business towards us. So he kind of like sets it up at the plate, brings it to us, and then I knock it and we get the loan in, and then we go down the conveyor belt of who does this next and get
Love
it to
it.
closing. I mean, it's a beautiful team now, and it did take a while. It took years to find the right
Love it.
people and move this and that, but
Cool.
I've got a question for you, Laura. So, and this may be a lot with Mark too, right? One of the things that I keep seeing is loan originators like yourself, or teams like yourself, that are doing massive volume, are working with an enormous amount of agents. And so just looking at your records, you guys are working with at least 130 agents that you've closed one transaction with in the last 12 months. How do you build that network of 130 people that you're working with and stay in front and present with those people so that they're thinking about you when they want to transition that business your way?
yeah, that's interesting. We do several things. We do a lot of events. We do CE classes. I enjoy education. I enjoy educating and teaching. So does Mark. So we do we have 3 CEs in the last 30 days. If you cannot, because for years we weren't licensed to teach CEs, you just can piggyback with an attorney or whoever is licensed to teach CE classes. Email, campaigns, social media posts, text, calls. I don't feel like there's just one way. It's all sort of different ways. And I feel like also a lot of agents that just do 1 or 2 or 3 a month get overlooked. They're just as important.
A month or a year?
That,
1, 2, 3 a year. Yeah.
I mean, really, it doesn't.
Okay.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
There are people that are selling loans, and are we putting all of our energy into that agent? Not necessarily. We have our top, and it keeps shifting. We have our top 20, our top 50 agents that we focus on, and now I really was more client heavy before COVID. I was more like client referral heavy, and that sort of shifted. It was Mark did a campaign for listing agents, and we just picked up so many new agents. And when he's on your show next, you can talk about that. But we want to shift again. I mean, it's again, like business is the market shifts, you shift. So we want to shift again and start being more client focused than agent focused. Agents are not the only people that can send you business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people get so focused on, I want to get agents. And that's great to get agents. That's fine. That's nothing wrong with that. But there are other people that can send you business that you can do business with.
Nazar, thanks for being here, man. He says main source of high quality leads conversion rate. So I don't lead, and when we say leads, it's just referrals, I guess, is what because most of yours are referrals of people that
Yes. Let me tell you, I'm working on something for Dustin Owen for me
OP
for conversion. Because I've been studying neurolinguistic programming since I was 19, mostly to help my mental state. And then I was like, this is great for sales. So I'm doing something for conversion and NLP. But conversion, let me give you an example of conversion, right? Somebody calls you and it says, what's your rate? Where do you go from there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, logically, right, you can never solve a problem on the level of a problem. So you're going to answer what your rate is, and where are you going to go from there? Are they going to, usually you're going to say, thank you, have a good day, or whatever. So I turn it around and I say, that's a great question. What is my rate? That is such a big question, really, because rates are dependent on so many things. Let me ask you a question. And now you've taken control, right? So this is all part of conversion.
Mm-hmm.
So you ask them 10 questions, and then you realize that whatever, for this situation, let's play pretend that the rate that they're getting, well, what rate were you quoted? After you ask them a question, what rate were you quoted? 5.5. Oh, interesting. 5.5. Well, you just told me that your score is 620, your income's 100. So you don't qualify for the programs that give you 6.5. So you're really kind of wasting your time and energy shopping for something that you can't even get. So let's talk about what you really can get. See, I'm taking control, and that's how you convert, which is you meet them where they're at and you take them somewhere better. Because that's what your job is.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be their guide for their mortgage.
Leave them in a better spot. Yeah. The rate questions. I think that's great, because the rate question is just what we're supposed. That's what they don't know what to ask. So like, what else? Like that's the thing. So how to overcome that and turn it around and ask questions that are qualifying questions. Very good.
Right. And just kind of get them off like the normal things that people call you about. I'm calling lenders to check in for this and that. You know how many times I've gotten them away from, why do they even call me? Like they're calling they just called me to see if they want to work with me because they're calling 5 other lenders. Well, now we're talking about their divorce. You got to ask, make it about them. It's not about you. Like, I've been doing this for this many years and everything you do is referral and la la la, and I'm so great, you should use me. No. What is it you're looking for and how can I help you? And then they start talking. Oh, what about this? And what about that? And now you've got them.
Good stuff. So is most of your leads and referrals, I should say, from realtor partners, past clients, current clients? Do you get a lot of referrals from current clients in process? Or is it more past clients? Okay.
I think I do.
All right, I'll talk to Mark about that.
Talk to Mark about it. Yeah, I think we get such a mix. I always say, don't put your eggs in one basket. So we have such a mix of past clients and current clients. I do have clients that'll send emails and say, I want to introduce you to my friend or whatever. I do get leads off of Facebook fairly often.
Really? Okay.
I
love that. Okay. You've never bought an ad. I remember talking about this.
Occasionally, but not really.
Yeah.
But I don't buy ads on Facebook. If you write something heartfelt, people will respond.
Story driven in a situation. Yeah. Okay. Good. Love it. Very cool. Any questions for Laura before we head out? Laura, thank you so much. Any questions for Laura? Anything at all? Just shoot, fire, aim. She's got you.
I see some questions here.
They just said the main source of leads. I asked that one. Where does the loan partner fill in the gaps? Which you gracefully said. Mark does events and campaigns. Anna estimates, pricing, guidelines. So like you just show up and you're like, yep, sounds good, Anna. Okay, Mark, what's the next event? Like, get out there, go.
Yeah.
I'm playing with you, Mark. All right, excellent.
Kind of how it goes. No,
that's all right. Okay, all right. Do you own your own company?
So Mark and I are owners in Highland Mortgage, and you're funny, Mark. And we We have several other partners. I did
Cool.
own my own company for many years, and that's where I learned what not to do mostly. And I was the Lone Ranger. I did it all myself. I just had a processor, and I lost my mind and burned out many times. So
Cool.
I think that's where I how I got to here. Again,
Gotcha.
It's all steps to where you want to be.
So my final question, if nobody else has one. So you're at where you're at right now. Is this to go to 200? Is there a lot of changes that have to take place, people that have to come in place, or can you do it with the team you have?
I think I can do it with the team I have. There are changes, and I'm in my research phase. I'm asking questions. I'm looking at things. I'm talking to people.
Love it.
About stuff. Yeah.
More than happy to
We'll
play a part in that if you ever want me to come in and just be a fly on the wall. So
yeah,
I might see things from a 10,000 foot view, and I love them. I love those calls.
Yeah.
So
how do you deal with rate shoppers who will just not stop shopping? Oy vey, that's a whole nother show. Rate shoppers, Lord.
I know.
I mean, I can tell you, I don't know how much time we have quickly. Like,
you're good.
People are shopping, I feel, more than ever. I haven't seen anything like this. Really, it's a lot. So we have different ways of structuring that to win a deal as far as our margins and stuff. But I mean, there are a lot of rate shoppers. I will tell you, I don't like losing a deal, so I'll go low if I need to go low if it's a real quote. I'll also tell people, like, this is like what did I just tell somebody? I said something like, do you want to go to a walk-in clinic or a specialist? That you have a difficult file, you're not gonna close. So I know we're like $500 more. Ooh, I don't say it like that, but
you kind of
obviously we can get you closed. So if you want to close, you should come with us.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be confident in what you're selling, but at the same time, margins are definitely different and lower than they were. With people shopping, lots of shoppers. But I don't know that we have enough time to go over all the scenarios.
No, we can do that. Yeah, we can bring you back on next time. But what I am hearing from a lot of people, several, and Devin too, is there's a lot of tire kickers that are kind of on the fence. The reticular activator is kicked in, so to speak. So they're thinking about it. They're just not there yet. So that's why there's more shoppers than norm, because they're hoping and praying, which is the silliest thing, that rates will come down. What they don't realize and understand is they're missing the appreciation, because that's not stopping. So every day that they wait, every month they wait, every 6 months, 12 months, like, okay, another 8%, just the houses went up. Like, okay, here, and heaven forbid, if it goes to 5, Barbara Cochran's saying we're going to see a 10 to 15% increase. So it's just having those conversations. And I think more importantly, for you, is just putting them in your pipeline, following up with them, because they will buy. They refer for you somebody to buy. So that's the big part, is just being front and center and visible.
Yeah, but we can do that on another show. That's something that is part of the conversion, is how do you deal with people that are on the fence or rate shopping? What do you do?
Yeah.
Because you got to get them off the fence one way or the other. Even if they don't buy right now, you got to get them off the fence and get control of that client and say, okay, we're going to talk in a month. They will respect you. Yeah, don't buy now. That's fine. Let's talk, and put it in your reminders and let it pop up, and call them in a month and say, okay, guess what? Rates still haven't done anything. What are you waiting for? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good
stuff. Congratulations to you, Laura Witte, and Mark. Congratulations. Let's get Mark on the call and talk about events and campaigns and all the crazy stuff he's doing to bring you business. And that'd be awesome. And I always appreciate your time and wisdom and success that you're having. I know that you care more about people than you do about your business and the money. So that means a lot to all of us as a group here. So thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Good to see you guys, and have a great day.
All right, my friends. Devin, what you got for us, brother?
Man, you put me on the spot.
I always do that.
I was tuned in.
I know, man.
We're here, man. Always great to have you here, Laura. You and Mark, you guys are rock stars. So I don't know. Let's see. What do we got, Scotty?
Come on, baby. You always got